Young Thug Attorney Brian Steele wants Judge Glanville to recuse himself. Basically, he's like, yo, look, Judge, man, I mean, you can't show up to court wearing the jersey of the other team. BBN Jack Frost. What's up, party people? Alright, so yeah. So apparently Brian Steele has said, yo, look, y'all other attorneys, I see what y'all doing. Y'all telling the judge that he's doing these things the wrong way, and y'all pussyfooting around, but I'm just gonna say what it is. Judge Glanville, you have to recuse yourself. Okay. Now, before I get to everything involving Brian Steele, I just want to inform you about something else first, at least at what a different attorney said. So, attorney Doug Weinstein, for everybody that don't know, that's DeMonte Kendrick Yak Gotti. That's his attorney. And so he's been complaining. He actually, along with a couple of the other attorneys for a couple of the other defendants. Remember, there's still 6 defendants currently. So, because the other guys, they was taking pleas and bids and everything else. So he's already made complaints, basically. One of the complaints that he's making is that that they've already made was that the witness list is, well, it was 700. Then they whittled it down to 400. And then now it's at 360. So he's complaining that the government is basically getting too much leeway. He wants the government to have to explain why 360 more witnesses aren't a waste of time. If somebody is guilty of something and you need 300 people in order to be able to ascertain guilt, there's a good chance that this person is not guilty. I'm not saying whether these guys are guilty or innocent or not. What I'm saying is that this is a reasonable request, that we don't be sitting up in here till 2027 on a trial. Remember, it's supposed to be a quick and speedy trial. Quick being they don't have to wait in jail forever until the trial actually starts, and speedy trial meaning that the prosecution doesn't get 5 years in order to put their case on. That's just bananas. So they've already been speaking about this, just so we can be clear. So they've already been speaking about this. And basically, Brian Steele just decided, yo, look, we have to say what it is, right? They believe, Brian Steele believes, that the judge should step down because allegedly he's been biased. And then he went on to name one of the attorneys, Adrian Love, specifically says that Adrian Love has been making mistakes and the judge has not been correcting, and has basically been, they're making a mistake. Oh, why'd you get up over there? It's okay. But then when they make a mistake, it's like, all of the whippings. No dinner for you tonight. It's that type of energy, just so we can be clear. There's been a moment at least once where Love was quickly proven to be wrong, and that she had been basically misrepresenting information, and there was no reprimand. Judge Glanville just moved on and didn't even look into it. Just so everybody knows, when an attorney makes mistakes in court, the judge, it's literally the reason why the judge is there. I'm going to say this because I don't think people get it. I think people think the judge works for the prosecution. No, the judge is in court to make sure that the letter of the law is followed. That's what the judge is there for. The judge is not judging the defendants. The judge is basically judging the trial. That's what the judge is doing. He's judging whether the case law is being used correctly. He's judging whether the actual laws are being used correctly. That's what he's there for. He's not there to be on one guy's side or the other guy's side. He's not there to help anybody get a conviction. He's not there to help anybody get off. He's just there to make sure that these two parties are following the law and that the law is what is being used in order to ascertain somebody's guilt or innocence. That's it. So if he's overlooking mistakes instead of addressing it properly, he is wrong. You're not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to allow an attorney to make a mistake and you not address it. Now, I want to say something real quick. So we've been covering the Jam Master Jay trial. And so I want to tell you about a specific situation that happened. I wish it happened on a different day. But a specific thing happened on for the defense of the two men that got found guilty. Their defense attorneys were great. They just had very little to work with. I'm not sure which evidence had been thrown out of court because I wasn't there during the pre-trial hearings. But their defense was the best defense that I believe could have been given to them at the moment with the information that was going to be allowed in the court. Obviously, you could shore up a little bit here and shore up a little bit there, but I don't think it would have changed the verdict. That's the point in which I'm trying to make. With that being said, there was a point during the trial, and we spoke about it on one of our live streams, where there were witness that was on the stand, and they should have asked the witness specific questions about a specific thing, and they didn't. I'm not going to say whose attorneys didn't do it. It's not important. Later on, they tried to address the points. The judge said you had the person on the stand. You could have asked them. And then shut down their point. Being law says you had the opportunity to speak to this person. You didn't ask them any questions pertaining to this thing that you're complaining about now. You had the ability to take care of the problem or situation. You should have had the forethought. Not just that, it's something that you should have asked because that's in the defense of your client. I just want to explain this for everybody that don't get what the judge was basically saying. The judge was basically saying you knew better and you didn't do better. And then the judge gave them a way out and said that they can call the client, to call the testimony, call the person back. They opted not to, but they could have called the person back. They probably had a great reason for not asking the person the question while on the stand, because once again, I don't know what other information would have came out of them directly asking the person on the stand. But the point being is that the judge, shout out to Judge Darcy Hall, the judge handled the situation in the moment and handled it in a non-biased manner. That's what Glanville is supposed to be doing. Glanville isn't supposed to be, when one side mess up, says, don't worry, I got you. And then when the other side mess up, be like, we gonna hit you over the head with bricks. This isn't what he's supposed to be doing. Anyway, Steele went on to say that he believes that the court is biased against him and his, biased against his client and himself. I mean, when you're losing, you're gonna feel that way. In any regard, Steele then expressed that the court was biased against his client and himself, and then he recanted the situation where he was being treated unjustly to the judge, and the judge didn't care. So he literally brought back the moment where you should have cared about what was going on in that moment towards me, the way that you care about in that moment what was going, in the other moment what was going on with Adrian Love. What in the heck is going on, Judge? Fair treatment. Equal rights, equal lefts. With that being said, do you think Judge Glanville should step down? I told you I did not like him from the rip. He's one of the reasons why we don't even barely follow the case. I think I don't like him as a judge. I'm just being honest with you. He might be a great judge. Maybe it's the cameras, I don't know. But I don't really care for Judge Glanville. I'm just saying what it is. With that being said, put it down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe, join the notification gang. # Bronx Bowmans. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I get on this one. I'm out.